In the month of November 2019, we had a similar program like this, wherein the district and the block here in ATI, we had an intensive coordination meeting. Now we will have time for introduction.
Good morning everybody, my name is Kekhrie Yhome. I am govt EBRC from Kohima.
Good morning everyone, my name is Kekhrie Yhome, govt from EBRC Nagaland.
Good morning everybody, my name is Kekhrie Yhome. I am govt EBRC from Kohima.
Good morning everyone, my name is Kekhrie Yhome, govt from EBRC Nagaland.
This review meeting is necessitated. So as we all know that the Ministry of Education is implementing, particularly with the implementation of the NEP 2020, so many activities have come in place. So we know that so all these various programs are being implemented through Samagra Shiksha, through Samagra Shiksha in a mission mode. So those of us, all of us working in the mission, we really need to build up our skills to meet the challenges of all the requirements through the NEP for implementing the NEP 2020. So all of us working in a mission mode project like Samagra Shiksha, we require the highest level of dedication and commitment. So we have to be motivated to resolve any kind of issues at the shortest time possible, as most of our works are strict time-bound works only. The success of our state mission also depends on the cooperation and the commitment from you all, from the ADCs and then from the EBRC coordinators, from the DOTs, and then all the being down to the school level. So mission work, it requires each of us to be like more innovative and then creative in keeping in mind the emerging trend and the challenges in the education sector, especially in line with the NEP 2020. New initiatives that time to time the ministry comes up with, and then they expect that kind of they expect that kind of magic from all of us. So this magic cannot work without the help and cooperation from you all. So this with the in view of all this, we cannot be complacent and then sitting like as a holiday posting or a rehabilitation posting for people having medical issues. No, those days are gone. Okay, now we have to pull up our socks. We have to pull up our socks. Now we cannot remain complacent anymore. So it's a real responsibility in any point, any time that you'll be asked to come up with data, come up with so many innovative ideas. So we need to keep up with the trend that is happening. So the role of EBRCs have become very significant, and EBRCs are the most critical units for ensuring and evaluating the quality of education at school level. Okay, on a constant basis, not only during when there is a program, when there is a training program, it doesn't mean that you have to go to the EBRCs and then give your PPT and then pass. That is not the way. Now the times have changed, so it has to be on a constant basis and providing timely remedial interventions, training, and on-site support to schools and teachers. So these EBRCs, the resource centers, they function as a repository of academic resources, including teacher TLMs, specifically relating to the new machine that is being launched, particularly on FLN and ECCA. So, besides that, the awareness training on critical components like the children with special needs, so the EBRC coordinators, those TOTs, you have to be extra vigilant in identification. It's your responsibility to mobilize the community in identifying out of school children, those who are dropouts. So we have to bring them to the mainstream education. The focus of the ministry is by 2030, no one should be out of school.
You would be aware that since 2020, 22, there has been improvement in the school education indicators for the state of Nagaland. In terms of the transition rates at the elementary level, at the secondary level, and there's been a reduction in the dropout rates at the elementary level and the secondary level. And these are all because of all the people who are involved or working in the education sector. And it is primarily because of those who are in the schools, who are in the blocks, transacting education in the classrooms, supported by the various activities carried out by all of you. So I would like to congratulate all of you. We understand that we have a lot of challenges, we have a lot of issues when it comes to implementation of the various activities in the blocks and in the schools. But at the same time, we are also capacitated. We are being capacitated to deal with these challenges and issues. And here, I would also like to emphasize on the need to be adaptive to the changes. You are also aware that with the National Education Policy 2020 being implemented, various activities are now being imposed on the state, and ultimately it boils down to implementation of these activities in the blocks and in the schools to be carried out by our officers, by you in the schools and in the blocks. The Samagra Shiksha mission, it has been constituted to work in the mission mode. Most of you are from the school education department, deployed in the mission, in the DMAs and EBRCs. When all these activities are being imposed on us, sometimes we might be thinking that it is unnecessary. But we have to be aware that these policies, these activities which we are required to carry out in the blocks and in the schools have been brought out after much thought, after much research by the policy makers. And though the activities might not be directly academic, but the extracurricular activities which we are carrying out are to support, to supplement the academic needs of children, so that we mold children, we nurture children who have the life skills, who are able to think critically, and who will become citizens of the state who will contribute. Therefore, you have a very important role to play. We have to be conscious that whatever activity we are carrying out are done, implemented, not just for the sake of implementing it. We have to be conscious that these activities have to be meaningfully carried out and transacted in the schools.
This year our results improved, not marginally, but in a huge way. The allure for higher secondary schools has also improved. Not only the results, there is a rush for higher secondary schools. So if there is a rush for higher secondary schools, why is it so? Because our higher secondary schools were equipped with better qualified teachers. Our schools, many schools are visited, are what do we call in rundown conditions. Very pathetic. But still everyone is seeking admission, and unfortunately we cannot open our doors for everybody. It is very sad that because of classroom situation, we cannot allow everybody to get admission. So in most of the districts, our higher secondary schools are doing better. So if our higher secondary schools are doing better, why are our high schools not equally doing better when we have better qualified students? When in most of the cases, our school buildings, although not all the schools are same, are also in a better condition than some of the other private schools. So these are something which we need to reflect today. In this short while, we have collected the data of 10 years of all the 1939 schools we have. How they have been performing for the past 10 years, that is there on the dashboard. It is with me. Many politicians, they come to me asking their schools to be upgraded. So I tell them this is the state of affairs of this particular school you want to upgrade for the 10 years. So that gives us a holistic, scholastic view of what is the performance of this particular school for the past 10 years. So this kind of data, we are now in the process of collecting. This is what should be in your fingertips now. I am a very blunt person. If I say certain things which you will not agree, please forgive me also. But let me tell you the fact of the matter. I've been telling our legislator friends, demotion or what do we call upgradation of schools, it is not in our hands. But you as a politician, as a public leader, it is your responsibility to bring welfare to your area. So you have every right. But we cannot be filling a bucket where there is a hole underneath it. It is useless. And this is how we have been doing for the past so many years. It is frustrating at times because my chief minister told me that it is not exactly the politicians, because I was telling that politicians are interfering too much in school education. He said, we are not interested in transferring one person or the other. The public, our workers, they come and say, let us transfer this person here. Let us. So we succumb to public pressure, and since we work for the public, we have to listen to the public. Today, the School Education Directorate does not know how many graduate teachers are there. We do not know how many primary teachers are there. We do not, as a family, know how many family members are there in the house. I think this is not something which we should blame ourselves. To do this, we are now putting an exercise. They were saying that we should be able to finish this exercise by what we call August. I've requested the team to push it that by 31st July, we should complete the exercise. So all of you will be involved here. So many programs of training are there for the teachers. The Samagra, the SCRT, what we call the school education, as well as the NBC. All our sister organizations are all engaged. I've told them we need to come out with what we call common calendar for training. We should not replicate, we should not tire, we should not, what do we call? So they will come out with a common design. Likewise, for district, the district is the most important leader. The district leadership is very important. So it is here that all reports should come to the directorate. Districts are important, we will come, but the subdivisions, certain subdivisions, we will pay attention. We will give extra, like the bouquet of flower you are giving. We will give more, we will spread more rose petals to this, what we call subdivisions. We will show our care and attention, because it is very, very sad, because right now our focus will be, just the pre-primary and the primary. If we do not nurture them, there is no need to do lip service of trying to educate them. Their education is, they're already condemned to be what we call a failure in life, because if we do not focus on the primary. So to focus on that, we need to build our administrative setup. Today, to build our administrative setup. Today, I'm telling you very frankly, it will be done on the one-to-one person. It will be done. We will know each and every one of the 46 EBRC members. The ministry has given us to increase it to 52. Right now we have 11 ADCs. We have 96 TOTs. We will try to bring in people who are already like headmasters, AHMs, or people who are already serving in schools. We will bring them as TOTs. We will increase that number. What we will effectively do now to expand the process of EBRC is we will have cluster. It can be a standalone school, which is one cluster, but depending on access. So we will use the comprehensive data sheet of RD as well as the civil administration to show our access. So today I am requesting you, we have voluntarily decided to join school education. It is not just for bread earning. It is not just a place where we get our tangha, our salary. We are here to serve humanity. And teachers' needs are very simple. When our students get what we call distinction, when our teachers are going for engineering, what we call, we are so much at joy. We feel so satisfied. You see, we are not looking for what we call incentives. So what we are trying to do now is the student unions will be engaged, the village council will be engaged. They will give us the statistics of students from population from 2 to plus 9 years. They will give us, we will assess their data, and we notice that many of these are not entering the what we call education system. So parents need to know that it is not only a right to education. If they do not send their children to school, they will be liable for what we call punishment. They will be answerable. So today we have 4 lakh students starting from pre-primary till higher secondary. This includes private as well as government. Our government school, we have 150 students. The private entities, they have 2.5 lakh students. So in 2 years, with our support, with our leadership, we should be having a target of bringing 1 lakh students back into our school system. So that today I want to challenge you, with all of you, you'll be able to grow.
Address the House again, but I'll go for today's presentation. But before that, there's been a lot of talk this morning. So I would also say it's been a tough job for every one of us. Our job, whether in an EBRC or in a DMA, is very tough. It's all time long, and so there's a saying that goes, when the going gets tough, it's the tough that's get going. So I think all of us are very tough here. So today, it is just a recapitulation of what we have done and what is there in our program. So this is all about Samagra Shiksha. It's a small capsule, but when you open that capsule, it has a lot of molecules. So a lot of small programs are also here. So once your inspection takes place, you have to take the record of all this. So very quickly, strengthening of infrastructure, now verification of UDIs, and then in the residential hostel, you also have to assist. So here under access and detention, you have to also give your report to the DMAs. So, and this is to ensure correct UDIs of the schools.
So in the first slide, let us all take a few seconds to read what is there. In order to make meaningful changes to the way we work, don't start with a mammoth challenge. Start small. So whatever challenge is there ahead of us, let's not look at, trying to accomplish the whole thing at one go, but let us take it in steps. And this is, many of us are still not aware of what it is actually talking about. So today, before the NEP 2020, it lays down 10 needs too. And among those objectives, there is something where it mentions that fostering new behavior and practices in all stakeholders in the school education system. Fostering new behavior and practices. Recently, we conducted a lot of activities and we got a lot of feedback from schools, the teachers, the school heads. Why so many activities? We cannot finish our syllabus on time. We are not able to go and do our classroom duty. But as teachers, we should all realize that education is a dynamic process, it is changing, and we are now slowly shifting from the classroom traditional, system of transacting knowledge to a more activity-based kind of learning.